Good morning. Welcome to worship. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are very glad to be here and to be sharing together. As you know, a week or so ago, our youth was in Chicago. We spent the week there participating with a program called DOOR, which is Discovering Opportunities for Outreach and Reflection. We showed up there with our 15 kids and we greeted 45, 48 other people. They were overbooked by 15, so it was a little bit tight in some places. But we had a great experience. Our charge was to see the face of God in the city. And this morning we're going to be showing you a little bit of a video that kind of outlines some of the things that we did and saw and felt. We saw the face of God in the city. And we also experienced growth and friendships, and we realized more about ourselves. We explored things like our own personal faith, what it means to us, what it means to us to be a Christian, what it means to us to be a person of any faith. We talked about race issues, equality issues. We talked about community, what a community is, and what our place is in it. We practiced patience. There were too many people. There was a lot of lines for a lot of things, right? We practiced flexibility because not everything was planned, maybe like it should have been. I know my group and other groups ended up at some childcare kind of places, and they were like, go. And we were like, okay, we can make this happen. So we did a lot of things where we just made things happen, and our young people made me very proud in that they always were the ones to volunteer. They were always the ones to stand up and say, I'll do it. Or they were always the ones to quietly sneak into the kitchen and start doing dishes. And we should be very proud of them. I know that they are super thankful that you allowed them to go, that you sent them there, that you gave them that opportunity. We talked about different ways that we can respond as a community. We talked about what the most important thing is that we're called to do as Christians. Is it Bible study? Is it worship? Is it action? Is it being in community? Or is it simply being present when people need it? Present in the moments when God is there, and we had moments when God was there with us. We could feel them. We were awed by stories that people told. There were guest speakers every night. We were awed when they came in and they shared their story. Maybe it was tragic at first. Maybe it was triumphant at the end. Maybe it was just a struggle the whole way through. But we were also able to share our stories in some way. And one of the things that we've been working on for a year is called Being the Glue. And what that's about is being present, being there, and letting other people know that they matter, and we know that they think we matter. So we're always meeting people on that level. And we got to share that, and we got to be that, and it was really exciting for us to do that. So one thing I just need to say about the video that we're going to share in a little bit is we always do this thing called Roses and Thorns, and people who've been to South Dakota, have been on other mission trips in the last few years know what this is. But what it is every night we gather as a group and we go over our day and we share what our roses are, those beautiful moments in the day, those things that just speak to you, that just are wonderful. And then we also talk about thorns, those things that were just hard, sharp, not pleasant. Now sometimes your rose and your thorn can be the same thing, sometimes they can be the opposite things. But it's a neat experience to share and to talk about the different things. So you're going to hear that in the video. Thank you again for giving us the opportunity to do this. I know our young people are here this morning, and they're thankful, and they're willing to share with you some of what we did. And we're going to have a reading now, the Bible reading, which kind of leads us, and then we'll move into the video.
The scripture I'm reading is from Romans 12. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. For by the grace given to me, I say to you, to everyone among you, not to think of yourself more highly than you ought to think, but to think of sober judgment, for each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. For as in one body we may have many members, and not all the members have the same function, so we, who are many, are one body in Christ, and individually we are members one of another. We have gifts that differ according to the grace given to us: prophecy in proportion to faith, ministry in ministering, the teacher in teaching, the exhorter in exhortation, the giver in generosity, the leader in diligence, the compassionate in cheerfulness. Let love be genuine, hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good. Love one another with mutual affection, outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit, serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope, be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer. Contribute to the needs of the saints, extend hospitality to strangers. Bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Do not claim to be wiser than you are. Do not repay anyone evil for evil, but take thought for what is noble in the sight of all. If it is possible, so far as it depends on you, live peacefully with all. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
That's going to be in the video.
the city of Chicago is like so diverse and like so you can cross the street and it's totally different, and how you can see that in the people and the buildings and just the communities here, and how great the people are even though their surroundings don't live up to how they treat people.
I don't know if it's not really a thorn, but it was hard to answer, so it was hard for me. I was at the Safe Haven today for the kids, and I was working with the really young ones. And it wasn't, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it was hard to answer, and it was sad that this was something that we have to, like, think of a politically correct way to answer it, or, you know, like, how are we not going to offend people, or why can't we just be people? And so I was playing with a little girl, and we were playing a game, you know, a slap game, stuff like that. And she held out my hands, she goes, "Why are yours different from mine?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, yours are white and mine are black. Why are yours different from mine?" And I said, "You know, I don't know." I had no good way of answering that. You know, why do people have brown eyes? Why do people have blue eyes? Why do people have blonde hair? Why are some people short? Why are some people tall? We're all people. How do you answer that to a 7-year-old girl? Without sounding like a terrible person. Because you're black and I'm white. Because I was born in a rich community with supportive parents. And you were born in a different area. And we just assume things of each other. I mean, there's no good way to answer that. And so it wasn't a thorn for me. It was a really good experience, but it was a hard part of the day.
Like I said, I think it was, like Maddie said, there were some things that were kind of hard to swallow today and kind of really think about and take the time to kind of digest. But all in all, it was a great day for us. So enjoyed ourselves. I did anyway.
I just got to talk to people here today. I like talking. I talked down for a while. That was fun. I mean, I told a lot of jokes with Maddie and Shannon and Maisie and who else was there? Kaylee was there. Cameron was there, kind of. Allie was there. I remember.
But like where he grew up and stuff, where he went to China like once a year. Mm-hmm. And also talking to Allie. Aww. And also playing frisbee with Jared and some of my friends.
Yeah.
He's good enough. And my thorn was when we were having breakfast with the little kids. I was sitting next to this little girl. I don't remember her name, but all the kids were talking about like toys and all this stuff. And I was like, "What's your favorite toy?" And she's like, "I don't know. I don't really have any toys." And I'm like, "Oh, why not?" She's like, "I don't know, my parents just never really give them to me or anything. My brother usually has them all." And I'm like, "I'm sorry." And she's like, "It's okay, I'm used to it." And when she said that, I was just like, I really did not know what to say. I sat there and I was just like, I sat there and I like looked at a wall like, wow. Like I didn't know what that felt like because I had so many toys when I was growing up and kind of feel bad, like selfish about it. Okay.
Go to timeout. Okay, so when we were at what's it called? What church was it?
The CSC.
Yeah, Jesus. The thing I didn't like about it was we just like basically edged on, and we didn't really have any, like we just basically did it by hand, basically.
We were just winging it the whole day. Yeah.
Was kind of a pride part when Jacob and Allie just got up and just started helping JP in the kitchen. No reason to do it. You just did it because you guys were nice and you decided to help. And that it's a point of pride for us as a community.
We went to like this park today and there was just so much litter and like I'm just not used to it in Lowell, but it was just a small thing that was like just different and surprising. Yeah. It was sad because there was just so much litter.
We like listened to these two guys talk. They're like from the police department or something, but they were like talking and they were like, "So when is like a time when you guys have called the police?" And they were like, I think one of them said a robbery, and then when their friend got like hit by a car or something. And I just think it's sad that they have to see that type of stuff.
So my rose is probably the just today and yesterday helping out with kids. I figured out recently that I really like working with little kids and just seeing them, grow to trust you as you work with them is just something. Watching them grow.
Today was being able to go to one of the daycares where we could actually talk about God and express like what we felt and how we felt Him. And I just really loved seeing the kids, and they were so they were excited to learn about God and the Bible and stuff, and that was great. And how much dedication those adults put into making sure those kids stay on the right path and don't portray where they live.
Because there's this girl, and she's just going into 7th grade, and she's telling me about how she got jumped before at school. Now she had to go get teachers involved, and the kids got suspended, and she had to go home with her mom, and it was just really sad.
And what do you think the biggest thing that you're going to take home from this is?
Probably to not to take advantage of my surroundings, but not to take advantage of it, because I get to go do all this stuff, so I shouldn't sit at home and do nothing. I should take advantage of all that I have and go put it to good use. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad I came because it was a good experience, and I got to meet new people and help out a lot of people who needed it, and I got to experience things I've never experienced.
Me and my bestie over here, we're glad we're here.
Right?
What was the best thing?
To go?
Fun.
No, I meant on a work site.
Oh, probably the food pantry.
Why?
Because all the people were nice. I didn't feel like I was getting bored.
Roses for me today, a number again, like I said last night, it's just really cool to be a part of this group and this really unique group of individuals, and so it's a lot of fun watching people kind of just take the initiative. I know today Angie was, I think she was impressed with the way our group kind of just jumped in, and they needed us for things, and she didn't really have to give us any direction. We just kind of took it upon ourselves to, do you want us to go there? And it just worked.
Another rose was that I got to participate in the game.
So again, thank you. We appreciate the fact that you let us go and experience those kinds of things. Our young people will be out in the family center afterwards, and I encourage you to ask them questions. They're happy to engage with you about what it is that they saw and did